2 hours 27 minutes. This is the beginning of lesson 4. So here's my introduction. Hello, this is Nick Marine, and this is the suggested guide for Japanese literacy, course number 3. So this is the Remembering the Kanji Optimized, part 1, which is the 555 kanji from 2001 that Kanji Odyssey taught in the RTK order. We are on lesson 4. Here are the kanji we'll be teaching this in this lesson. So, street, mother, elder brother, outside, none. So these 50 kanji, this is up to number 112 in the Hazig's Remembering the Kanji book, but we'll be obviously skipping over quite a few. If we're going from 90, let's see, from 99 to 12, that's skipping over about 5 of them. So a lot of these are going to be learning. And it looks like we're learning a few extra primitives, but not too bad. Alright, so this should be, now let's look at the primitives we'll be using for this lesson. For lesson 4. So it looks like spike, child, woman, mother, teenager, brother. I usually say Bart Simpson for that. Little, big, and there. Okay. So that's what we'll be covering over the next 15 minutes. And let's see, what is the, hey, let's start at number, what, page 50? I'm getting a feeling these pages are off. There we are. There we go. Okay. And let us begin. So expect this to take about 30 to 40 minutes, but by the time it is, you should have all these fairly. If you also when you're doing the lessons, if you're writing them down as I'm talking, I think by the time you're done, think of again when you think of the stories, think of them in visual terms, not the words, but the picture in your head. The story in which I'm talking about. Alright, so let's go to preview. So the first one should be street. Let's see what we got. And that is the first one. Good. Okay. Now, yeah, this is like Cho. One and stick. So think of the program Sesame. So street, think of, there's no, it doesn't have additional meanings. Yes, it's reference to like a section of a city. So it's usually city, or okay, you have the country, Japan, the prefecture, Kanagawa, the city, Yokosuka-cho, and then you have the area of the, so Kanagawa-chen, and then you have a street, Icho-mei. So it's like the third street in the city. Yokosuka-shi is the city, Cho is the town in the city, and then you have the street with it. So when you start learning Japanese addresses, you'll see Cho pop up in there. So yeah, this is a kanji for street. And today the program is brought to the Sesame Street, which is brought to you by the letter T. So that's a kind of a funny story. When you use another kanji, think of this as nail. So let's bring this up. Let's clear that. All right, so we'll learn the kanji first. So when you hear the word street, let's think of Sesame Street. Okay. Alright, and then give it a little hook at the end. Alright, and sometimes you'll see it in other kanji, like you'll see it like here, and then something's happening over here and whatnot. Or you might see it where it's over here, and then off to the side a little bit, and then something's happening here. But again, you're still thinking a nail, like a T-nail that's driving a spike or a nail, driving a railroad spike or a railroad nail. So when you see it in other kanji, just imagine a spike, which as opposed to a needle which goes through it, this is a spike. Large nail. There you go. Alright, but on its own it is street. Street. Okay, next up. Alright, now here we have his town. Now in Hazig, what Hazig did, he called this village. Let me see, bring this up real quick. Yeah, see, he called it village. I'm changing that. In this case, we're calling it town, because it's all, Mura, which he calls town, is actually village. In just the way it's used in Japanese Japanese spoken language, written language, whatever. Alright, so Jay makes a mention, hey, that looks like a T intersection, a street T intersection. Streets intersecting in a T. Yeah, that's also a good idea. Yeah, go with that. But yeah, so here is town. So when I hear town, I'm going to say it's in reference to this kanji, even though Hazik teaches that as being village. So whenever you see this, like this kanji and this pops up here as a definition of other meanings, it's the reason it's because of Hazik. But yes, town, block, or even a street. Ichome or something. Honcho. But yeah, it's in reference to city names or city addresses. Alright. Okay, field in the street. A town like one that has lots of rice fields surrounded by streets. So yeah, your traditional towns in Japan. This feels like that. It's like there's the farm fields, and then there's the little nails and sign nails or streets that help demarcate the town area. All right, let's learn that. Okay, so we have there's the rice field. You can also think of brain, but I can't think of a story that involves that. So yeah, so again, it's just on its own, rice field. And look at the stroke order of rice field. Remember that. It's a little different than what you would think. Well, that's kind of pointless. Why did I do that? Okay. So there's rice field. Then there's nail. Okay. Good. That's town. Town. Next. Can. Now this is not can as in soda can. This is can as able to do. You have the ability to do something. Like kano. And then here it has a couple of things. Mustn't do something, should not do something. So can, able, passable. So mouth on a street asking for things. Can I get some help? Can I get some directions? Can I have some money? Can you please speak English? Okay, can. So on the street is this mouth saying, now the stroke order is going to be a little different, but I like that story. So on the street is this mouth asking all these stupid questions. Can I do stuff? All right. So here's the stroke order. In fact, let me show you the stroke order. What am I talking about? Okay. So right up here. So you can see we're doing the first is the one. Then you do the mouth. Then you complete the nail. Okay. So that's the stroke order. So it's not what you normally think. So we do the one, mouth, and then finish the nail. One, mouth, nail. And that's can. Because you can. Because you can. And you notice it goes off. Actually, it probably looks a little better if I make the mouth a little bit bigger. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, it can. If you see this in other kanji, you might, because the only thing I think of it happening is in dance. I think of the can. You know, little ladies, you know, with the frilly dresses kicking their legs up high. Okay, so that's can. Passable, mustn't, should not. All right, able to do something. All right, now we have is child. Let's see what Hazik did real quick. Maybe he did something a little different. Let's see. All right, he just taught it kind of on its own. Okay. So now you'll see this is used also in Sign of the Rat. I didn't know that. So one of the Chinese zodiacs, a very specific point in time from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. for a sign of the Chinese zodiac. But yeah, in this case, we're going to think of as child. It's mainly what you're going to think of it. And it's just a pictographic, so there's not really a story of how to draw it. Well, when you used in other kanji, think of the baby. I used to think of the baby Maggie Simpson. You can use anything that references either a child or a baby, but a young child. Okay, and let's look at the stroke order real quick. You can see how that second, so it kind of looks like if you've ever, I tell you what, I'll demonstrate it with the writing here. So here's kind of what's happening. I'll do it over here. So if you ever do the ma or ah, so that's the first stroke. And then what we're going to do is at the end of the first stroke, we're going to do this right here. You notice with a little hook. So ma, curve, and then little. And that could be like the arms of the child opening up to like hug their mom. Okay. So that's child. So let's do this. So this is what we're doing. Child. Okay, so that. Now that right there is a kanji in itself. But we'll discuss that later. Alright, and there we have it. Child. Next kanji. And again, when you see it in other kanji, you'll probably see it a little bit more distorted. Something like that, or maybe on this side. It's alright. And I think, yeah, I think one you'll actually see it under here. I think I may be misremembering. I think you'd see it like that as well. All right, let's see what's next. But normally it's used in like ko or kodomo, just child. Now we have as woman. Now this is my here. If you know hiragana, katakana, this is like ku no ichi. So we'll explain that ku no ichi, which is reference to female ninja as well. Ku no ichi. When you use another kanji, what I'll say in your stories, I think of Wonder Woman or some other, maybe Xena Warrior Princess or whatever, some type of visual of woman. Okay, I sometimes cheat and think Marge Simpson, but you know, I've changed that because I use mother for Marge Simpson now. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so so again, woman is just going to be kind of like ku, and then no, it starts here, no, and then ichi. So let's see right here. So, what the heck are you doing there? Come on, stop that. Okay. Alright, in fact, let me show you the stroke order as well. Alright, so there's the stroke order. See how it's sort of balanced, but okay, so it's kind of like over here, you have the ku. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Alright, so actually let's kind of keep it in the center right here. Ku, no. What this was the particles that went to make mother kind of got distorted over time and became this. You don't worry too much about it. Alright, some dude is asking what program is this? You talking about the program I'm using to draw? It's called Smooth Draw. Okay, so that's woman. In fact, let me make sure about this. And also in reference to female. So it means either woman or female. Ku no ichi. Next up. Alright, now, a mother is fond of her child. A woman is fond of her child. Woman and child, fond. And it also means to like, to be pleasing, to like something. Fond, to be pleasing. I like cake. Keiki suki desu. I like her. Kanajo ga suki desu. Whatever. Fond. Okay, let's do that as a, let's write that out. Okay, so you notice right here when we did that, it's right here. When it's done, it doesn't go through, it kind of stops right there. Yeah. Okay, so we do woman. That's a very ugly looking, I'm drawing that really ugly. And then, yeah, and that's like, let me look at the stroke order real quick. Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, yeah. So ku, no, ichi, there's a child. Alright, and then and you'll notice with mother, this is where it follows sort of the same thing as, very similar to what's happening in woman. Alright, so instead of like the hook or the L, it's kind of like the hook, which, whatever, and then the no, or the bound up thing, drop, and I'll demonstrate that with the writing. But so this is mama, mother. Now this is in reference to either, yeah, usually just in reference to one's mother or another person's mother. J512. Nihon ga sunde imasu ka? Nihon ni. Do I live in Japan? Yes, I live in Japan. I live in Yokosuka, which is about 40 minutes south of Tokyo by train. Okay, so this is mother. So let's show, and when you see this in, and I'll show you how it's drawn in other things. In fact, let me show you there's going to be some primitives here. Right there, yeah. So I'm going to need to demonstrate that as well. Alright, so here we go. So let's do mother. Alright, so drop, drop, through. Okay, so the way it's happening here, first thing is, and it's sort of like off to the slant, but it's like here. Okay, so off and slightly slanted. There's that little hook. Slightly slanted. There's a little hook. Drop. Slightly slanted. Now think of the little drops as maybe either the drop her nipples on her breast and whatnot. And then this final stroke. Drop, drop. That was really ugly, but yeah. Alright, so some ways, this is mother. A very ugly kanji writing of mother. Now, some things the way you're going to see this written. You're going to see it at the top. You might see it like this. Here, which again is mother, but here's the stroke order. And it follows the same stroke pattern as mother does anyway, but instead of a drop drop, it's like a straight line right there. So yeah, and also you'll see it where, like in another kanji we'll be learning, you'll see it drawn like still going in the same order, but and again, this is when you see it in other kanji. But you can see the stroke order. And let's finish it off here. Let's finish it off above it. Okay. Go down, then across. So yeah, that across is the last one. Oh, kami-sama. Oh, kama. Yeah, great mother. Yeah. Oh, ka-san. Okay, so yeah, you'll see it at the top, in which case I think, yeah, so it's like a mother here. You'll see it in, yeah, we'll see that pop up, but yeah, that's mother. And when you see it in other kanji, think maybe Marge Simpson is a good visual. Alright, now we have elder brother, mouth on legs. That should be, it can mean big brother, older brother, or just an older person. In reference to just another person who happens to be older or younger gentleman. Oh, Nissan. Mouth, peg leg, clubfoot. My elder brother was basically a mouth on legs when he was a teenager. Yeah, a mouth on legs. Older brother, elder brother. In other kanji, think of this as Bart Simpson, the older brother of the Simpsons. Sure. Okay, so let's do that. So we just do a mouth. And then there's the human legs, or peg leg and clubfoot. So, yeah, very simple. Just do mouth, peg leg and clubfoot. So a teenager or older brother is just a mouth, not a teenager. I'm sorry. You can either think of teenager or a Bart Simpson. So yeah, just a mouth on legs, older brother. Ani, Oni-san. Okay, that's simple enough. And what else we got? Hopefully I answered that guy's question. Little. So here we have is that stick, but with the hook and little animal legs. Let's look at the stroke order real quick. There it is. So stick with little hook, and then animal legs. Okay, let's see what the stories are. Actually, yeah, and there's a little extra with that. Let me mention that. These are... you're going to see these in other kanji. So let me just go with what Hazig has mentioned it real quick. Yeah, so he's there right there. Yeah, so he's talking about little, not at the bottom, but at the top. Actually, I say at the bottom, but also at the top. But we'll talk about that. Okay, so When you see the little strokes seen at the top of it, kind of see it upside down like this. So when it's at the bottom, it follows the same stroke order when it's at the top. I'll be demonstrating that when we are writing. But anyway, so this is little or small. Okay, so I tell you what, let's delete this and start it up. Alright, so what we want is, and if you've ever played the game of Atari, this is sort of like the symbol for Atari. I don't know why, but yeah, so it's a little stroke, 1, little stroke, 2. Alright, and that's little. Geez, and what was mentioning is, you'll see this at the bottom of, so let's say you're writing some kanji and then all of a sudden you see it right here. This means little, or actually you won't see it with a hook, you'll see it this kind of like that. One, like this, 1, 2, 3. And then what you'll also see is 1, 2, 3 at the top, and then something's happening here. Now, when it's at the top of something, instead of it being little, I imagine them being sparklers. So maybe at the bottom of something, maybe for visuals, instead of it being little, maybe it's just a little exhaust or a little ignition flame, like at the bottom of a rocket going off. Like, yes, the flares of a rocket going off. When it's at the top of something, it's the flame of a candle. So this could be the flames of a rocket, and this could be the flames of a candle. The strokes are still the same, center and then the outside strokes, center and the outside strokes. So instead of visualizing little, because that's kind of hard to do, just visualize either candle flame or rocket flames. Cool? Next kanji. Alright, so now we have is the stroke order for small, and then a little drop added. So this means few, as opposed to small, this is few, sakoshi. Or it also says here maybe little, but maybe a little bit, not little as in size, but little as in a little bit, or a few. Alright, few. So let's talk about that. Here we go. So what we have is, let's do the little. Now the second stroke, the third stroke of little is going to be a little short. Few. Now what was the story we had? A few little drops. There we go. Yeah. That's kind of, yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, so we're going to write, I'm going to do this all at different strokes. So we're going to do that. Boom. Boom. No, it's a little shorter. Boom, boom, boom. There's the little drops. A few little drops. A few little drops. Few, a few. Looks like looks like hole without the straight line. Yeah, yeah, I guess you could say that. I always think of, because again, you're going to have ho, this right here. This is what he was talking about. He's saying about ho. You're going to find out that's used in the kanji for tea. But don't worry about that. That's for later. Or, okay, but it doesn't hurt. So, there we go. Few. Little and few. Let's go next. Next kanji. Oh, here we go. Alright. Wow. This is a really cool kanji. Big. Large. Okay, large, big. Now, Hazig, he says, think of Saint Bernard as a big dog. When you see this in other kanji, you're going to be seeing a big dog. Now, by itself, it just means large or big, or the most, the greatest, the tallest, the whatever, size, something like number one. It's big. Or it just means bigger, whatever, and then large. Good. Now, think of a big dog or Saint Bernard. Something large. Because you can visualize that. So yeah, yeah. So here we go. Let's write it down. So the way it was saying it was, do the 1, and then really you'll find out it's the kanji for person, but we haven't taught person yet. So person right now is actually kind of like the peg leg thing. Look, goes to the side, and then off to there, a little drop to the side. Yeah, big dog. So we'll do 1 stroke, and then right there where that meets at the intersection, finish it off. Big. Oki. Then if you see it in other like kanji or whatnot, you might see it here, whatnot. whatever. It's just think of a big dog, Saint Bernard, and then that's going to change some meanings anyway. Let's go. Next up, next kanji. Okay, first things first. Let's teach this. Let's go to Hazix first. Does he go in that? I guess he's calling that moon. I don't. Evening. Okay, yeah, little moon. I don't know why he put evening before moon, but evenings. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, first thing, if you saw evening, if you learned hiragana and katakana first, you already know this is. Now, first thing, that's ku, and then if you do a little drop there, and that becomes ta, like wipe the ice cream off with the towel, like ta. Now, when you're seeing this as its own kanji, that's evening. As a primitive. Now, let me make sure. Am I learning evening? Now, I don't know why it's just that evening should be taught first before many. I can't go back and, so evening times 2. 2 evenings to many. So let me teach you evening first, and I'll go back, because it's going to be coming up next anyway. Alright, so here's evening. This is evening. So, yeah. So it looks differently. It's not bound. It is not bound. That's a little different. But let me just show you the stroke order real quick. Okay. So there it is. 1, 2, 3. So it's a little thinner. It's a little thinner than bound. Alright, so again, it actually just looks like ta. Okay. So drop, drop, drop. Alright, so that's evening. Now, we'll discuss the rest later. Now we want to do many. So we want to have many evenings. Think of, over time, think of instead of many moons, now you're thinking of many evenings. So a small moon, but many evenings. Yep. So let's do that. So let's do many. So that's evening, and this is many. So it's written very similarly, because it's 2 of these together. Alright, and that's many. Let me show you the stroke order. There's the stroke order. It's more on top of each other, so we'll do it that way. More like above. Alright, so that's many. So evening, many. And I guess I should do the stroke order technically, which okay, many. Oi. So let's see what it says. So in this kanji, when it says many, it also means frequent or much, a lot. Many. Alright, next one's going to be evening. Right there. And again, it's evening. Yu, shoku, yu, han, yu, bei, whatever. Yeah. I think it's, what is it? Seki? But anyway, it's like ku and the little drop. And think of the katakana ta, which, again, is the same freaking thing. Okay? So not the wa. Evening. Evening. You. Next up. In fact, let me make sure. So yeah, that's the evening. And it probably looks more like that. So let's try to see if I can do it. One last thing. Let's see. Kind of like that. Come in like that. And drop it. Boom. Done. Oi. Da. Alright, what's next? Oh, okay, outside. I like this. So we have is evening and Harry Potter. Now, Harry Potter's a little differently because that stroke's going through the walking stick instead of starting at the walking stick. Okay, and when you see this kanji used in other vocabulary words, it could take the inference of being outside. Yeah, just outside. Now, it could be outside as in outside the house or outside one's country. So if you're a guy, this is the guy of gaikokujin or gaijin. Igai, or outside one's concept, outside one's ability to think, outside one's ability to imagine, just outside something. It could be outside a concept, outside a location, outside an area, outside. Okay, so, and this is saying, outside, yells his Uncle Dursley. So in the evening, the young Harry Potter goes outside to perform magic. Alright, so yeah. Or I think it was a Prisoner of Azkaban, he was practicing magic under his bed covers, but in this case, so it'll be practicing magic outside. Sure, we'll go with that. All right. Okay, so we'll do outside. So do the evening, and then stroke order and slightly curved. All right, so let's do that. So we'll do the things for evening and things for evening. Do that. Right there. All right, and it cuts it like a knife. Outside, outside, outside. Cool. And let me just show you the stroke order real quick. Yeah, it's this thing right there. Now that one is not. So yeah, I guess right now you don't have to cut through it. It's saying right there, so it might be just as well. Let's see. So yeah, why not? Let's just try it. Pretend like you don't have to cut through. Right there. Let's see what Hazing does, just for SMGs. I was about to say shits and giggles, but yeah, okay, yeah, he doesn't cut through either. So just the font seems to cut through. Alrighty, that's cool. What's next? Oh, I like this one too. Name. Hazing had a great story about this one. It's like, imagine like the tribes of Africa. So here you have his evening and mouth. So imagine a tribe in Africa where a child is not truly has its name until the father goes out in the evening and with his mouth to the entire tribe shouts the child's name 3 times. And then that shall be the child's name from then on. You know, whatever. So my name is in the evening. When it becomes dark, you open your mouth to say your name so people can recognize you. Well, that's another way of thinking. It's like, my name is. Halt who goes there, but yeah. In the evening, mouth. Name. Namae. This is my na of Namae. So, okay. So let's see. Yeah, I like that one. Alright, so it'll be more centered like that. A little off in the center. Be a little off center and then right there. So yeah. So evening. Evening, mouth. Name. Cool. Evening, mouth. Name. And let's make sure here. Alright, so other things. So you're hearing name. What you can mean is your name or another person's name, your family name or your first name or your entire name. Noted. Something famous. Your reputation distinguished. Yeah, how well one knows you. So it's not just names. It could also mean popularity. Yeah, like you may. Yep, there we go. What's next? Alright, cool. Hey, wow, that took 30 minutes. That was even faster. Awesome. We are just at the 3-hour mark for the stream. Yeah, that was 30 minutes. That was fun. We were down to 3 people watching, so I think I'm starting to scare people off. Alright, so